What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another monthly report here at Herman's Outdoors. Today, I'm going to talk about what's been going on here in the Pacific Northwest in the month of July, and yes, that includes staying out of the heat wave that we've had here in the later part of the month, and what to look ahead for here upcoming in the month of August. There's a ton going on, so we got a lot to go through, starting now. So for the month of July, I've been focusing on a few areas. First, doing a little summer trout fishing, trying a few different times of the day to fish, couple different scents, hitting a couple different local waters that I don't normally hit. Secondly, hitting some perch and bluegill out at Hag Lake. I did that earlier this month, had a blast going out there with Richie. Just different fishery this time of year, and so we just tried something different and wanted to go fish out there for the day for perch and bluegill, and it was awesome. As we begin closer to archery season, I've been practicing with my bow a lot and getting ready by doing a lot of running and hiking to get into shape, make sure I'm ready to go for archery season. And then lastly, I've been picking berries and picking kale and lettuce out of our backyard and being able to have some really awesome dinners with the salad and the berries, but also mixing in some of those berries with some morning smoothies that I've been having. So salmon steelhead fishing around here in the Pacific Northwest. We'll start with the Columbia. There was a couple of 5-day openers in the early part of July, and the fishing was so-so to not great. This time of the year is usually the downtime on the summer Chinook run, especially in July. Late June is usually when the peak of it is, and so we're on the back end of that. Oregon and Washington's Fish and Wildlife departments have given us more opportunity to get on the Columbia, which has produced some fish, just not in the numbers that I think most people expect. So the other thing that the Fish and Wildlife departments did was open up the rest of the Columbia for Chinook and Steelhead all the way through the month of July. Now, it's great to give us access to go fish on the Columbia. However, it's at the tail end of the run, and with Steelhead numbers being down, not quite sure that we needed to keep Steelhead open, but Chinook, yeah, that makes sense. Now, if you've been targeting salmon on the Willamette, there's been some pretty good days, especially when you go back to June, and in July, there's been some pretty decent fishing still going on. The water temperature has stayed pretty cool. We haven't had a huge heat wave until the latter part of the month here in July, and there's still fish hanging around. You know, spinners and herring have been the bite in the Willamette, but it's been mostly up by the channel side where the Willamette meets in with the Columbia, as opposed to way up near the falls or in the Oregon City area. The bite there has been pretty dead for the most part. And then finally, as a notice, they did close the Clackamas River because of the low steelhead runs coming back. Now, this is a concern, especially in the summertime. We should be having bigger runs of steelhead coming back into the tributaries. It just hasn't happened, and it'll be something to keep an eye on, especially this coming winter, to see how good the returns are on steelhead. But for now, there's a lot of places where you can't fish for steelhead, and the Clackamas now being one of them. Crabbing and clamming reports, I'd say, has been good. It's been better than average. I've had a few friends that have gone out with boats out in a couple of different bays along the Oregon coast and have been doing pretty well. And the clamming also has been really good, especially on the really low negative tides. There's been a plentiful amount of clams to dig up. You can get your limit, make some clam fritters, some clam chowder. So crabbing and clamming overall has been good. If you can get out and do some crabbing and then head out past the jetties, ocean fishing for coho or Chinook outside of the jetty, you can make it a dual trip, and people have been pretty successful doing that lately.
Come on, is there a fish still there? Oh, jeez. Oh. There we go.
So for trout fishing overall, I went trout fishing a couple times this month. The weather's been a little bit warm on the days that I've gone. I've gone in the afternoon, I've gone in the morning. The one common denominator that I've been catching my trout on has been using scent. So using garlic or nightcrawler or a few different combinations out there. Try a couple different things. If the fish aren't biting, go at different times, move around lakes and ponds, go at different times of the day. The fish should be going into a little bit deeper and a little bit cooler water, but there's plenty of trout around to catch. So put in your time. If you know your spots, get in there early and catch them quick. So hiking and biking for myself, I've been doing a lot of hiking to try to get in shape for archery season. Been putting the backpack on with the weights in it and been hiking around. A lot of trails are opening back up. Parks are opening back up for camping as well. So you have plenty of opportunities out there. Check ahead of time before you head out, but there's plenty of places to go camp and hang out. And with the beautiful weather we've been having and these 100-degree days we've had this last part of July, there's a lot of places to go and do things near water and go out camping. So take advantage of the weather and get out there. So for all you bow hunters out there, it's archery prep season, so start ramping up your shooting of your bow. If you need support, go to your local bow shop. A lot of places are packed, so get in there now so you can get your stuff ready to go for the season. But for right now, it's a lot of just practicing and shooting the bow, a lot of hiking. Probably in the next couple weeks, get out there and do a little scouting and see what's going on and get the bios out and scout a few areas that I'm probably going to hunt in the month of September. But archery season for all you archer hunters out there is starting to ramp up, so get ready.
That was a bite.
Ton of stuff that's coming up. Let me just start by saying for the first part of August, I'll actually be heading up north to the last frontier in Alaska. The wife and I have our annual Sockeye fishing trip to the Kenai River. So we're going to be heading up there the first week of August. I'll be sharing plenty of photos and pictures on my Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. So if you guys don't follow me there, give me a follow. I'll have tons of pictures and tons of videos of our adventure up there in Alaska, and tons of videos coming to the channel here in the future of my fishing adventures as well as traveling and exploring around Alaska. So the bigger thing around the Pacific Northwest that's a change this year that's coming in August is the Buoy 10 fishery. Now, typically, Buoy 10 starts in August 1st and runs for about 15 to 20 days, depending on how long the season is. This year, however, the season starts later. It's about August 14th or 15th when the season's starting. In fact, go check the regulations because I'm not 100% sure when it starts, but Buoy 10 is starting later this year than it ever has been. So anglers have a little bit more time to get ready. Now the time down there at Buoy 10, the tides are perfect. The incoming and the outgoing tides are set up perfectly for some really good Chinook fishing around the Astoria Buoy 10 area. So if you're getting out there, time to gear up and get ready to do that because it's coming up quick. So then the other thing that's starting here in August is archery season. So general archery season for bow starts the last weekend in August. So all you bow hunters out there, good luck. As I said earlier in the video, get your prep done now. Get your practice shots going. It's coming up fast. We're going to be less than 30 days till bow season. I haven't been this excited to go elk hunting in quite a long time. I've got a new area that I'm going to explore this year, and I'm actually going to bring the camera out and blog and share some of my experiences out in the field. Otherwise, take advantage of the good weather here in the Pacific Northwest for going hiking, biking. Clamming tides are still a few negative tides. The crabbing's still good. So if you got a chance, get out there. If you can go bottom fishing or ocean fishing, get out there and do that. If you're looking to do a tuna charter, I know there's some good charters that have been pretty successful out there, so get on those fast. Otherwise, get out there and enjoy the weather. This is the time of the year to go camping, hiking, biking, and you can still get out and do a little trout fishing, especially around the mountain lakes and Mount Hood. And there's plenty of things to do on the Oregon coast, especially if you want to go explore the beaches. I've got a couple videos up around exploring Rockaway and Manzanita, so go check those out if you guys haven't done that. And there's plenty to do out here in the Northwest. This is the prime time for weather. There's still plenty of good fishing going on, so get out there, get your lines wet, and get out in the outdoors, everybody. Thank you guys for watching the July Outdoor Report. Now, for August, get out there and enjoy the outdoors. There's plenty to do. And thank you guys, as always, for watching. And until next time, everybody, the outdoors is a gift. Share it with others.